All right, welcome in everyone. Hold on, coughing for some reason. All right, welcome in to the Ultra League tier list stream, whether you're on the stream or on the YouTube video, watching it back. Today I am going to be covering. Oh man, my light is bright. Sorry, let me turn that on a little bit. Ooh, makes a big change. All right, so today I am going to be covering the Ultra League tier list. This is my tier list from pre-patch. Today, I'm going to do a post-patch tier list. So now that we know the entry values and stuff, and as expected, I don't think the Ultra League one is going to move around nearly as much. If there's anything I'm missing or any question you have, let me know. But I included a few other things that I left off last time. None of them are like particularly that meta relevant, but they are technically ranked higher than some of the other things we have on this list. So I figured might as well just include it and see how it goes. Let's take a look at the actual tiers, though, and see the ones that are already here. Fish eggs, welcome in. I used to call it fresh. I used to say fresh eggs for the longest time until I was corrected. And thank you for correcting that. Okay, so let's take a look at the stuff at the very top. Some of these things are not nearly as good as I thought they were, but some of them aren't terrible either. Corviknight's interesting. I don't know. It feels kind of underwhelming still. Maybe that's just me. Feels a bit underwhelming. I actually think Zygarde's really strong right now because a lot of the Weezing's probably the most Galarian Weezing's probably the most common what do you call it? Fairy type. And because of that, a lot of them are running Brutal Swing and Sludge, which is not bad at all. And this thing's way too bulky for you to be Fairy Windy down. And you have Bulldoze for coverage. So I actually like this a lot. Lapras is okay, I guess. Surprisingly, I haven't seen a ton of Lapras. And I feel like it's a little bit harder to use than I thought it would for some reason. I'm going to keep it here for now. But I played a full day of Ultra League today. And I don't know. I wasn't super impressed by it. Grumpig also feels solid, but not nearly as strong as Lapras because you're taking super effective damage from Feraligatr, and Feraligatr is still like kind of everywhere. Giratina, it's Giratina. It's still really strong and safe. Honestly, again, similar to Zygarde, I think with everyone running Sludge, I mean, I guess Brutal Swing's still pretty good to Giratina, but it's just kind of bulky and it's just really reliable in my opinion. Feraligatr is also just still everywhere. And I think part of that is because the rollout nerf did hurt Licky Licky. So it still feels really safe, honestly. I'm gonna put it here for now. Jellicent I've seen a lot of too. Oh, you know that's probably a big reason why Lapras is not as common because all the Jellicents. I do think Jellicent's actually quite strong. Corviknight, hard to say. I just haven't seen a lot of Corviknight. I did see one, and it got pretty much demolished by my Steelix, so there's that. But I think if it wasn't Steelix, maybe a different story. Nihilip also looks pretty strong still. I'm going to put it up here for now because it does beat all the other fighters for the most part. And if they're running Brutal Swing Sludge, it's not terrible against even the Weezing. Yeah, these two I'll think about it some more. Dusknoir I see almost none of. Probably because just pacing's not amazing. Weezing's like everywhere though. Let me bump up Weezing. Where's Galarian Weezing? Oh, here it is. Galarian Weezing's actually really strong. Yeah, it's really, really strong right now. I'll put it up here. I think it's... I'll put it actually here. Maybe even here. Let's put it here for now. It feels really strong. The thing is, it has so many moveset options, so that's where it gets quite interesting. But yeah, I don't know, just pacing's fast. Sludge just hits way harder than I feel like it should. But yeah, Malmar I've seen like literally none of for whatever reason, probably because of all the Weezing. Yeah, because they resist everything. So Manabuzz I've seen like none of as well. Virizion I actually think is pretty solid. I actually think Viricion's pretty solid. I mean, it has play into so many of these things. Not this. It has play into this. Annihilate, not great. It's not terrible into this, honestly. It has play into this. I actually think Virizion is actually quite strong. Cobalion is okay. Not as strong, but still fairly strong. Cordelia actually has been very, very underwhelming for my taste. But maybe that's just what I've seen. I don't know. It doesn't feel as strong as you think it should. But I think it's better than Dusknoir, honestly. Mandibuzz. I think it's better than these. For sure. Malamar just feels kind of a weird place right now. Because there's not a lot of normal types. And you're walled off by this. And then just a lot of things that play into it. It doesn't feel as strong as I thought it would. Runerigus I've seen very little of. Probably still more common than Dusknoir, though. Talonflame, I think, is actually pretty solid right now. I would actually put Talonflame in... I'll put an S tier for now. I think it's good. It's still quite good. Yeah, it's still quite good, I would say. I'd even put Grumpig ahead of Lapras, even. Because I think the... Grumpig has play into Jellicent, whereas the Lapras doesn't. Gastrodon, I think it's actually quite strong too. Let's put this. I'm gonna put this here. I think Jellicent, or I think Gastrodon is actually very strong right now. There's a lot of Weezing everywhere. It has a lot of neutral play into so many things. Yeah, you don't want to see a Virizion, but that's about it. I feel like. Yeah, that's about it. I like how this looks so far. Okay, let's see what else. Registeel is fine where it is. Cresselia is kind of hard to use. Steelix, I actually think, is kind of top tier now that I think about it. I think Steelix is actually very, very strong right now. It has play into a lot of these things. Especially if Weezing's not running Overheat, you're much better into even the Weezing with Steelix than before. So I think it's actually very solid. Pangoro's okay, I guess. I've seen... why was it good? I mean, a lot of, like, this stuff, right? Resist the Psywave as well. I actually think Pangoro's not bad. I'll put it ahead of Cobalion for now. I'll put this here. Primeape? I don't know. I've never... I think it's kind of a sim hero. I don't actually think it's as good as it seems, but... I could be mistaken. Did new moves get changed again or something? No, so what I'm doing is the last time I made this tier list for Ultra League, it was a pre-patch tier list. So it was before we got the energy values and we knew what everything fully did. This is post-patch. So it's now that the moves are fully live. And also I played a day of GPL. I have a better sense of like how things actually land. Because some of the stuff is not as like what I thought it was going to be for sure. Guzzlord, again, kind of similar to Great League. Actually has a lot of utility in my opinion in Ultra League. Put this right here. It has play into so many of these things. It was a little bit hard to use myself personally when I was trying it, but I think it's actually very, very strong. And yeah, it could be quite good. Skeldurge with Torch Flame. What's that move called again? The new move got the Torch Fire, Torch Song. I faced a couple of them today. It's not bad. It's really not bad. I will give it a little bit more credit, I feel like. I'm going to put it here for now. Cobalion is like really solid though. I could easily see that being moved up too. But Torch Song, it has a lot of play and utility into a lot of these things, right? Obviously beats this. You have play into this, beats this. You have play into Talonflame, beats this, beats this. You have some play into Lapras, not amazing. I don't know. I think it's well, the thing is they could always have disarming voice too that you have to respect, right? So that's something to watch out for too. These things are okay, I guess. I'll bump Runerigus up a little, because I do think it is like a little bit more usable than Malamar is at the moment. Registeel, I don't know. Registeel feels kind of weird. It feels kind of hard to use. I mean, in the right situation, it's fine, I guess. Cresselia is, I feel like, not the easiest to use. I think Clefable's solid still. Clefable I'd honestly put ahead of some of these. It's just very bulky still. I'll put Clefable right here, I guess. Fortress is an interesting one because I've never seen it in Ultra League yet. I think it could be good. but I kind of have a question mark on this one. I'll put it right here for now. Shadow Drapion and Drapion in general is not bad. It's not amazing. It's not bad, though. I'll put it here. And then these, I think, are probably appropriate. Yeah, let's put it that way. Fort good, can confirm. Oh, nice. Okay. What do you, if you don't mind sharing, Brian, what did you run with Fortress? Out of curiosity. All right, some of these other things that I've literally barely seen. Oh, Golisopod. Okay, first off, apparently this is pronounced Golisopod, not Golisopod. I absolutely hate it, but I think it's actually the official pronunciation. And me personally, I just have to pronounce it the right way if I know it's pronounced a certain way. I'm not telling anyone else you have to pronounce it Golisopod, but yeah. This one is actually, in my opinion, very, very strong right now. I'd even put it potentially even in S tier. I've seen, like, this is more hard to, like, deal with than I feel like this stuff even. Lapras, honestly, I might even put it here. Lapras is not easy to use in this meta. Grumpig as well is kind of odd. I don't know. It doesn't hit super hard. It doesn't hit hard enough in Ultra League, I feel like. I'm gonna do this for now. I do think this is kind of wild for me to do, but I do think this is a solid assessment by me. Grumpig is ranked number 2, Lapras is ranked number 3, but these two don't feel like 2 and 3 picks, based on at least what we see in the meta. Fort Credillia Core is what I would do this season. Oh, nice. That could be good. Use the Credillia to draw the town play, maybe. I guess if you draw the Virizion, it's kind of sucks, but because you can't really grab shields off of it, but you still rather have it on the Credillia, right, than have it on the Fortress. Malamar, Shadow, Weezing, Clefable is my Ultra. Ooh, that's a pretty good one. Double Fairy. Yeah, I assume you're safe swapping the Weezing. If you get Mud Slap down, it gets a little bit complicated, but yeah. No, I think it's strong. I haven't played around it as much. I did face it, and I do think it's strong right now. I built one from a previous like limited meta for Ultra League, but that's about it. All right, what else we got here that probably needs some adjusting? None of this stuff is really that great. I'll place those later. Tentacruel, I do think it's fairly fringe. A lot of ghost types right now, so I think this placement is fine. Dragonite's an interesting one. I don't hate it. I think it has a little bit of play. I think it's more play than Cresselia even. I'll do this for now. Honestly, I don't even like Cresselia here. I think Cresselia's here. This Typhlosion just seems pretty weak right now. Umbreon is a bit underwhelming on top of that. Oranguru is even weirder. I think Drifloon has a little bit more play than these things. Golurk is not terrible because it has the Mud Slap damage at least to contend with some of these poison types and Weezing, but it's not great. It's just not as bad, I guess, is a better way to phrase it. I don't know. That might be disrespectful for Tentacruel, actually. I'll put this here for now. Any of this stuff good? Not really. A lot of this stuff is very underwhelming, in my opinion. Tapu Fini might be okay in some situations. I don't know. There's sludge users everywhere. It's a problem. I do think it's maybe... It could core break some things, for sure. So... I'll put it here for now. Hey, what's up, King GBL? What's up, Mue? Welcome. Saves all Weezing, yeah. That's why I think the Mud Slapper is really good, particularly Gastrodon, because there's a lot of Weezing everywhere, and anytime you can lock into that, you're in good spots. Spiritomb, I think, was actually not as good as I thought it would be, but I haven't seen one yet. Oh, Blastoise definitely deserves some merit, for sure. Is this an S tier pick? It's hard to say. I don't think it's bad, actually. It beats a lot of these things. Honestly, it feels better than a lot of these things. I think Blastoise is very, very strong right now. Corviknight is just probably good, but it's not as good as one would hope, in my opinion. Alolan Ninetales is... I'll put it here. I really don't like how Umbreon feels right now, so I haven't really, I don't even think it deserves too much merit. but I could be mistaken. Player Moltres is okay, I guess. Oranguru is like super hard to use. Alolan Sandslash could be good too, especially with Weezing being in the picture. I'll put this here. I think Moltres probably better. Licky Licky is not terrible also. I think Miltank also deserves a lot of credit here. I think Licky Licky is still strong, especially in Ultra League. That damage nerf is not as critical, in my opinion. I'll probably put the Miltank shortly behind it. Yeah, I don't think the rollout nerfs really hurt these two, especially in Ultra League. So that's why I feel pretty comfortable about that one. You know, Stunfisk actually could be pretty solid. I don't know why people don't really run it, but it has a lot of play into these things. Amoonguss I've literally just seen not much of. Aurorus, these things are just like very whatever, to be honest. Swampert as well, just like kind of underwhelming. These all I feel pretty good about. This could be okay, I guess. This Abomasnow, I don't even know. Runerigus A tier. I guess Rock Tomb is just insane move. Yeah, it is. Yeah, if you're local of Dialab, yeah, definitely. Hey, what's up, Jay? Hope you're doing well. How's your day going? I hope it's going well. My day's going pretty solid too. I have not been the most productive, but I haven't been unproductive, I guess. But yeah, I just wanted to, after playing a day of GBL and Ultra League, I just want to readjust some of my tier list standings, just because I think some of them could definitely be adjusted for sure. The amount of teams that I see that are like triple weak to Venusaur is actually kind of crazy. I don't actually think it's that good, but I think it takes some people off guard. Walrein should deserve some respect, I guess. It is quite bulky too. I don't know if this Oranguru is actually all that. I think it could be okay, but I think there's a lot of other things that could core break a little bit better. Maybe like this. I think Greninja's much better here. Donphan, anything that has Mud Slap should have some type of respect on it. This Golurk maybe isn't actually as good as I think it is now that I think about it. I'll put it here. And I'll probably put this right here. That's a little bit more play with the typing, I think, for Golurk. This Poliwrath, I'm just going to move to bad. Belly Bolt, I lost one today, but still, like... I mean, if Spiritomb not there, then I guess this shouldn't be that far down. Roserade, honestly, I'll move this here because I think it's actually not that good. Dragalge is actually probably similar to some of these dragon types. I'll probably put it maybe like right here. I don't know. Rate your rank 1 Heliolisk. I actually have a Heliolisk too for Ultra League. Is that Rockhaven? But you don't want to see it on this tier list. I don't think you want to see it. These are just like a jumble of random stuff, I feel like. Florges, probably a little bit hard to use in Swampert, I guess. Bombirdier might not be awful. Bombirdier is probably better than a lot of these things, actually. I'll put it here for now. Actually, no, I'll put it here. I think Bombirdier's like coverage is a little bit more unique, at least. Roar's just like one of those sim heroes, I feel like. It's not bad, it's just not good. Magnezone, Zapdos, yeah, all these are just like kind of... I feel like this might be a little bit better than Zapdos, so... I feel okay about these, how these are going. Maybe Fortress not as high up. Fortress is hard to use because they're just better fairies, and all the other fairies seem to beat it, so... Regirock actually might be a little bit better. It's really bulky. I'll put Regirock ahead of the dragons for now. I can see the utility in it. I just wouldn't run it, but I can see the utility in it much more than the others. Give Dragalge Sludge and be new rank 1. Yeah, so the problem with Dragalge is that even with Sludge Bomb, you pretty much want Gunk Shot more, because you land a Sludge Bomb on a fairy. If it's like full health or 3/4 health, you can't take it out. You can't Dragon Tail it down. if you have a gong shot and you land it, it's actually not that bad. Like, shields down to zeros, you're not winning against most fairies with Dragalge, right? Because you need to get a double sludge bomb to have a chance. Whereas, like, one gong shot is enough to, like, turn the tides of things, especially if you don't have a shield. No Kingdra nor Kyurem in this list? Oh, great question. Let me just see how they rank. But I grabbed, like, pretty much all, like, the top, like, 80-something rank. Kingdra's at 284. I don't know. Kingdra, I would say, is, like... You have a lot of other better dragon types, in my opinion. Dragonite, Goodra, Dragalge, all really solid dragon types. That Zygarde, obviously, right? It just kind of outclassed Kingdra. In the sense that it's not to say you can't win a game with Kingdra. It's just that why use Kingdra when you can use a dragon that's easier to maneuver? Kyurem is also probably similar. Kyurem's all the way at 137. Again, it's not bad. It's just that it's not as good, in my opinion. And Ultra League, and Master League, Kyurem is a different story, especially the black and white variants. No, you're good, Rockhaven. Alright, I don't know if Spirit Dream's actually good or not. I just have it very bottom fringe pick because I just haven't seen it too much. I do think Poliwrath is kind of bad right now. I don't think it really does much. There's just so many other better fighters that you can use instead. But there's a chance that maybe... Yeah, I just don't think it's good. Alright, some other electric types. I mean, Raiko's ranked pretty high, but I actually don't think it's that good. Yeah, Powdon actually might not be too bad. Anything with ground coverage like this could have a decent amount of utility. So I actually will put it around here. It doesn't have the same mud slap pressure, but it's got solid typing. So I think anything with mud slap is respectable, but I do think a Powdon actually has a lot of potential. Nidoqueen is probably better than a lot of these things, to be honest. It's just not great, but I think it's more reliable than these other things. And then Kanto Ninetales, it is ranked like decently high, but again, it doesn't really have the same coverage. So I'll put it maybe here. All right, what should be in this hot garbage tier is a real question. Because I think the rest of my rankings don't change too much. Whale Lord is just kind of bad. Yeah, I'm going to move Mamoswine to this hot garbage category. I think this is actually just straight garbage. 342 Shadow, even lower for non-Shadow. And then non-Shadow Glaring Wheezing. It's bad. It's just not very usable. But yeah, I think this is pretty much how I feel about it. Registeel an A? Yeah. Do you think Registeel should be lower or higher? No, I do think it's really good. It's just that it's a little bit outclassed. But I will say it might be worth bumping it up a bit. It is still very unique in this coverage. Especially like if it ends up in show 6. You think it should be lower? No, Registeel and Ultra League is a freaking beast, man. That thing is nutty bulky. I actually personally might bump it up a bit to here. But that's just me. I mean, I could be mistaken. I do think it's not as... It's actually kind of solid. But... No, I don't think so. So the foul play wasn't really a buff in my opinion either. It was good for spammier stuff. Yeah, Scrafty's all the way at 191. It's not great. It's not great. But I do think that... what do you call it? Yeah, I don't love it just because anytime you have a bulky dark types, you shouldn't be running foul play if you have another option. Obviously, Scrafty doesn't really have like dark pulse they could run, but Mana Buzz, Umbreon, I recommend just running dark pulse. You can run in Ultra League. They're too bulky to do enough damage with foul play because it technically is less energy efficient, but it's spammier. So that's why it works really well on Scrafty or on Sableye, but it's not going to work very well on Umbreon and Mana Buzz. Yeah. Look at my S tier and rethink. Okay, yeah, so you do lose to this. You can beat this, right? Obviously, shields up. It's going in favor of their Frog more, but you can beat this. You beat this. This is a long match, but you, depending on the moveset, the Giratina, it's fairly even / you beat it. You can beat this, especially if they don't have shields. You lose to this. You lose to this. You lose to this. You lose here, unless there's like 0 shields. You beat this pretty hard. You beat this. You beat this, and you beat this. It's pretty good. There's very few things that could beat that many things in that S tier. But also, like, on top of that, Registeel has a lot of play into almost everything here. Besides Runerigus, right? The ground types, it can hit decently hard. The difference is for Great League, Registeel is not nearly as bulky, so it can't get off as many moves. But in Ultra League, different story. Also, a lot of times through Registeel and Great League, you need 2 moves to take out a lot of things, especially in neutrals, right? The same thing happens in Ultra League. So Registeel is still taking out stuff at the same rate. It's just that it takes way longer for everything else to take out Registeel. That's why it's just much better, in my opinion. I mean, if we look at the rankings, it's going to illuminate a little bit more. It's 20th overall in Ultra League, right? Whereas in Great League, the drop-off is much bigger. It's 88. Ultra League, I mean, Great League also admittedly has more viable things. So just because it's high ranked in Ultra League doesn't necessarily mean it's that much better in Ultra League. But in my opinion, I do think it's still very strong. But of course, everyone is welcome to disagree if they like. But give it a shot too if you want to test out Registeel. I think you'll be surprised at how solid it really is still, especially if all these Weezing are running Sludge and Brutal Swing. Man, it's time to lock in with that Registeel. I felt the same way with my Steelix into Weezing. Like, you don't have to worry about overheat because no one's really running it. Most people are running Brutal Swing for the potential Giratina and just like neutral damage, and then they're running Sludge. Sludge and overheat is just like a weird combination that I don't think a lot of people are going to go for. Kind of a strategy, Weezing's nightmare. Yeah. So that's about how I feel about this one. But let me know if you disagree or if you have anything else you'd like to add. I pretty much was pretty inclusive of everything that's even semi-relevant in this meta. Anything else outside this stuff might be a different story. Yeah, Spiritomb is 56. Spiritomb is a weird one. There's a chance that this could be much higher, but how many people realistically have a Spiritomb they can make? You need 100% or close to it, and then like 296 XLs. It's gonna be an expensive investment for something that like you could just easily run a different type of dark or ghost type ahead of it. So I think that's a big reason why we haven't seen too much of it. But hey, if you play some Spiritomb in Ultra League, shoot me a message. I might feature in one of my videos. You have that footage. As someone who hasn't played in 2 years, seeing my level 51 Umbreon barely make B is heartbreaking. Yeah. Well, I have some good news, Sean. A lot of the things that are ranked higher than it are still fairly accessible. So if you try and get back into it and have to invest some resources. All right, this is an XL for sure. These are XLs. These are super not accessible. These two are pretty accessible. Shadow, not so much, but regular, pretty accessible. No, you need XLs for that one. But you probably have this one maybe. This one's not super accessible. This one's accessible. Not super accessible, but most people play the community day. Not super accessible, but maybe you might have XLs. This one's very accessible, so. Oh, yeah, you're right. Weezing is accessible. You're right. What are we talking about, man? This is Ultra League. In fact, what are we talking about? This is Pokemon Go. It's not the most accessible game, especially when it comes to the PvP front, but that's okay. Anyway, this is going to be my list, so thanks for tuning in. Just a quick adjustment, but for those that are curious on my thoughts after a day of GPO, let me know. Oh, yeah, Greedent's actually not even on this list. Where is Greedent? It wasn't even in the top some. Dude, this guy's all the way at 187. It has gone down the drain. Yeah, that's why I don't have it on my list, because it's not nearly as relevant anymore. Obviously, some of these things are ranked lower than it, but these are because they were recently updated by the GPO updates. Otherwise, there's no shot I would have a Trampa and Wailord and Weezing and stuff on my list either. Yeah, that's going to do it for me. So, yeah, hope you have a good one. Best of luck in Ultra League. I heard the other cup is quite garbage, but I haven't tested myself yet. So, maybe I'll try some Scroll Cup myself and see if the rumors are true. But until then, have a good one. Bring your Galarian Weezing counters, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.